Hi friends, I'm Elisa. Thank you for watching The Source, God's Answers to Life's Hard Questions. Please subscribe to the channel and continue to share and like these videos. See the light, be the light, and share the light. Now we are about to enter a new year, Rosh Hashanah. It's just a couple of days away. And I wanted to start with a story. Now there was a wealthy businessman who was very concerned about his son's bad habits. And though the son thought it was all a game and that his father was worried for nothing, the father was desperate and he sought help from a wise old man. Perhaps he could talk some sense into the kid. So the old man met with the boy, but he had no speech prepared. He just took him out for a stroll into the woods. The old man showed the boy a small sapling and he asked him to pull it out. And the boy did, with great ease, and he laughed, and they walked on, and he was waiting to hear a lecture, but there was none. And then the old man asked him to pull out a small plant. He did that too, with a little more effort, not getting the purpose of this whole exercise. And as they walked on, the old man asked the boy to pull out a bush, and then a small tree, which the youngster did, but he had to struggle a little bit more. And then finally, the old man showed him a much bigger tree and asked the boy to pull it out. The young man, the lad, all his muscles put to full force, failed to pull it out. And he tried and tried again with many different strategies, but to no avail. He just couldn't do it. It was then that the old man looked at him and he said, "So is the case with habits, my son. Good or bad, they are hard to get rid of once they have settled into our system. If bad, it's best to get rid of them early on, but even better, not to get them planted at all." As for the rabbis teach that a bad habit arrives like a guest, but it then proceeds like the host. And now, my friends, I want to take you for a walk through the woods and explore the world of habits and the opportunities that the new year ahead offers us. There are two indicators today that tell us a great deal about life and where the world is headed. Firstly, more and more people are suffering from depression in the United States, which ironically is supposed to be the land of opportunity. Secondly, the self-help market is booming and was valued at almost $42 billion last year. And so the moral of this story is that people want to change their lives. What isn't good enough. That longing for something better to sweeten the bitter, for the most part, is a hunger of the soul that we try to satisfy with artificial sweeteners, such as materialism, shopping, status, improper relationships, power, and all kinds of unhealthy fillers that are poison for the soul. As a result, our souls are suffering from acid reflux, and it manifests as sadness, depression, endless longing, and all kinds of troubles. Now, as students of life, we certainly know that both physically and spiritually a bad diet saps our energy. In the physical realm, simple carbs, processed foods, leave us exhausted very soon after a meal. In the spiritual realm, the first words we hear from Asa in the Torah are "I am tired," a resultant fatigue of a steady menu of sins. We too continue to feed ourselves on all the wrong things on so many fronts. We have bad physical and spiritual habits, and as a result, the most famous quote seems to echo year after year. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Habits, habits, habits. We continue to talk the same talk and walk the same walk. Our feet are running the show. In fact, in Hebrew, the root word for feet, raglaim, regel, and habit, a habit, something we do as usual, it's the same root word with resh, gimel, Lamed, Regel, Ragil. And that certainly tells us something. The feet, and not the head, are leading the way, out of habit. But thankfully, the blasting of the shofar awakens us from our lumbering and our slumbering and reminds us that now is the time to change. And my friends, if the Torah instructs us to change, it means that we can do it. Rosh Hashanah is not translated as New Year, for there's nothing new about it if tomorrow we behave exactly as we did yesterday. But rather, Rosh Hashanah is translated as head of the year. For just as the head is the command center that should direct the rest of the body, so too Rosh Hashanah should be the command center that will tell us what to do over the entire coming year. Think of it as a time-release capsule. The energy created and focused on that day, Rosh Hashanah, will diffuse throughout the 12 months ahead. So set your intentions and then ready and brainwash your body to comply. Most parents, when sending their children off into the fray of life, tell them, be careful, use your head. But isn't that advice all rhetoric? What else would we use to engage life? An elbow? A toe? It is only as we grow older that we realize how important that advice is. For even though the head sits as the crown of the body, for most of us, it is every other part that rules. Our palates salivate, so we grab for the extra cookie. Our eyes desire, so we touch or take what we shouldn't. Our desires flare, so we reach for the forbidden and we run after it. Our duties as Jews beckon us, but we yield to the temptations of the moment and the seductions of our rotting, corrupt world. Quite honestly, it's a little embarrassing to think that we are taking life advice from our feet. They are setting the agenda. Did we ever hear of a head of state seeking advice from the best feet among his citizens? They seek out the best minds as advisors. So as the new year approaches, it's the opportune time to remember our parents' warning. Use your head. Although the lessons of Rosh Hashanah are over 5,700 years old, modern day thinkers are just discovering this wisdom. The key to life is in the head. Mind over matter. We can change. In high school, we learned that human beings are made up of atoms. But did you know that atoms are comprised of 99.99999% energy and only 0.0001% physical substance? So basically, as Dr. Joe Dispenza points out, we are more nothing than something. And that's not depressing. That offers hope. It means that our bad habits or all we think we are or are not is not set in stone. Within that vast realm of energy is infinite potentiality to recreate ourselves optimally and hopefully in God's image. Our lives cast distorted shadows because we've stepped out of line with God's will. Be holy because I am holy, God says. The power to recreate ourselves is ever more accessible during Rosh Hashanah because this time of year aligns with the energy of the creation of mankind and the world. So I urge you to take the potency of Rosh Hashanah into the new year and be a victor of habit instead of its victim. And my friends, before you put your best foot forward, which I truly pray you do, use your head and let it lead the way to a blessed and amazing new year. Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom.